and welcome to memoryinkers.blogspot.com. I'm Carrie, and I wanted to say, before I get started, that I did forget to put the Stampin Dimensionals on the supply list that was at the front of this video. So make sure you add those to your list also. We're going to talk a little bit about just the fun of stamping today. I'm going to start with a little piece of Whisper white paper. This is cut 2.5 inches by 4 inches, and the Cherry Cobbler ink. And yes, I know sometimes your Cherry Cobbler won't look really pretty, but it's totally fine. It just happens with the red dye for some reason. Then I'm going to take this stamp, and we're going to ink it up and just randomly stamp all over this page, this little piece of paper here. So you're going to do that until you completely cover it. You might want to take your time and try to get your flowers looking just the way you want them. It's all a personal preference thing. Obviously on video, I stink. But once you finish all this and make it pretty, of course, you're going to want to mat it with a piece of Cherry Cobbler cardstock that is cut 1/4 inch longer and wider. So it's 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. And then you will mat that on top of the main card, which has also had another one done exactly the same as I did this little one, but it is cut 4 inches by 5 1/4 to fit on the card. Okay? Now that's just the very simple basic base of the card. I'm going to set that aside for just a moment, and we're going to talk a little bit about this wonderful new punch. It's really great. It makes these beautiful little flowers with a little ruffly edge. And what you're going to do with these is you're going to snip them a little bit down at each little point, so you have these little fringes. You're going to want 4 of them, and the first one is going to be left plain, just like it is. Then the first time you cut down, I don't know if you can see this, so let me put it on top of this red so you can see it a little bit better. The first time you cut down, you're only going to go part way, and you're not going to cut the little slits at all. And then on the next flower, you're going to cut the slits just a little and cut a little bit farther down. And then on the last flower, you're going to cut much farther in. Be careful not to get too thin like that or they start to tear. So you'll have those several pieces, and you'll stack them on top of each other to create this. And what you do to get the flowers is you can either use your bone folder. I like to just sort of scrunch it up a little bit and make it all nice and messy. And then just play with it until you get it the way you like it. Then take your card and put just a little bit of sticky strip right about where you think you're going to want it. I want it down here in this little corner. And I'll show you a little trick that if you take your paper piercer or your scissors and just sort of pick at this, especially if you have these acrylic nails like me, they're almost impossible to pull this sticky strip up. Then you can get the strip off easily. Take the flower, set it where you want it, press down. Now that's all well and good. It's not very fancy just yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to add something for the center of the flower. You'll need a piece of Daffidil Delight cardstock. It's 11 inches by 1/2 inch. And then you're going to put a strip of sticky strip down one side. Take your paper snips and just begin to cut little tiny slits in it all the way until you just at the line for the sticky strip. But I did forget to tell you that before you cut, you should take your bone folder and roll it a little bit. This will become important because after you've got all those slits done, you're going to slowly roll it. Of course, you'll take off your sticky strip, roll it along until you get this little ball like this with all of your edges up. Okay? Then go back to your card. We're going to take a little bit of the Tombow Mono Multi-Liquid Glue, and I'm going to squeeze a little bit of that into the bottom and just sort of spread it around a little bit. Now, while that's setting up, you're going to take this little middle section and just sort of grab it with your thumbs and pull out like this. And that's going to give you like the center of a flower. And then you set it inside, and it makes that beautiful little flower. Now you're going to want to let that dry. I have tried sticky strip underneath, but it just isn't quite as strong. Now to make this thing just a little bit nicer, I took a sentiment stamp, the thanks, from the Rue de Fleurs. Don't laugh at my French. I know I can't do that very well. I stamped that on white, punched it out with the large oval, and then I punched out a piece of cherry cobbler with the scallop oval punch. Put them together, and I got this thanks. Took some sticky strip and put it on the back. And then you can just put the thanks right there. And then you have this beautiful thank you card to send to somebody. It is going to be a little thick for mailing, so it might be something you want to hand deliver with maybe some really fun cookies that you made with our cookie press. Thank you, and come back next Wednesday for Watch and Wait Wednesdays at memoryinkers.blogspot.com. Hi, and welcome back. Well, it's time to talk about my weight. All right, so remember a couple weeks ago we started our Smash Book, and I started out as at 223.2 pounds. And then last week, it was so exciting, I lost 2.8 pounds. I can't even tell you the excitement that I feel about that. So now, what did I do this week? Well, you know, I started a new temporary job this week, and I was pretty panicked because there was that, and I went to an all-day crop, and I ate things like cheesecake. So I was very concerned. But I am happy to tell you that my new weight is 218.7, which means I am down 1.7 pounds. Woo! I'm so excited. I am just thrilled to death. I think letting everybody know that I'm on like this diet, like out in the world, people in China, you know how much I weigh. So there's a little temptation today because I filmed this on Tuesday, and today is Punchki Day, and I'm Polish, so it's a big deal. But this is the one punchki I bought today, and I cut it in half, and I ate the smaller half, saved the other half for my husband. So come on back next week, see how I do. So far, I'm doing great. Thanks.